right, check this out right here. It's the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Now, I first debuted this vehicle 3 years ago when it first came to market, and Ford made their big announcement about their first true, real electric vehicle coming to market, which is the Mach-E. Now, this is the GT version, which is the hopped-up version, and we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this here in a minute, but I just want to talk about Ford's current game plan for their electric vehicle segment versus their gas side of the house. Now, Ford's made big news with Blue Oval City, which is in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's where they will essentially conduct all of their electric business, from manufacturing to R&D. A lot of it will be done in the state of Tennessee. Now, as their gas program is in the market, everyone wants choice, and that's what Ford Motor Company is offering, according to Jim Farley, their CEO. They're not going to go and do away with their gas program. They're not going to just do EVs. They're going to allow you to choose from what it is you want as a consumer. And of course, the F-150 is still, at 50 years, as America's best-selling vehicle of all time. So why mess with something that's not broken? Just add to it, which is what they've done with the electric Lightning, which is their truck. All right, so you guys ready? We're gonna check this out right here. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. All right, so let's start with a little bit of fun. It is a Mustang, and what does that mean with a Mustang? It means you get a 5-liter Coyote. Well, it's not a Coyote engine. It actually is called the Frunk, right? The front and the trunk. So Frunk is up here. And I wanted to do this first because I actually wanted to talk about the performance of the vehicle. It is a GT. GT goes with the name Mustang. So you get about 261 miles with the extended range battery on the Mustang Mach-E GT. And you can charge it up to 61 miles in about 10 minutes. So I love that, right? You got a little bit of range with this thing. That's great. So you got that range, you got a little bit of charging, and you've got the Frunk. Now, what I love the most about the Frunk is this actual little hole right here, this little drain. This drain's important, and I'll tell you why, because if you want to go tailgating with this, you could load this whole thing with ice and some adult beverages. No, not adult beverages, just some sodas, but you can do that in here, and I love that about this vehicle, is that you get to all this usable space, not only in the front, but in the rear as well. Your 0 to 60 time is going to be about 5.2 seconds, so you're not taking it to be the fastest one at the racetrack, but what is really cool is that around town, when you put it in sport mode, I'll tell you right now, this thing is a lot of fun to drive. All right, so we showed you up under the Frunk, and we talked a little bit about range. Let's talk about charging. So on the side here, it's really easy. You have 2 different ways you can charge. What's really great is that Tesla has now opened up their superchargers so that you can speed up the time in which you charge your electric vehicle. So as I noted, you can get it up to 61 miles on 10 minutes of time. If you have a little bit more time and want to wait, boy, you can get it up to 80 or 90% pretty fast using a supercharger. Not to mention, as we think about the infrastructure as well, many consumers are going to start adopting charging stations at home if they have enough DC power to do it. Of course, the infrastructure is it's difficult right now, guys. I totally understand. If you want to get out on a long trip, it's a little bit hard. You have to plan a little bit more in order to charge your vehicle. So right now, for me, it's really a second vehicle, or it's one that I'm using to commute to and from work in every day, which is fantastic for that, because according to JD Power, the daily average commute is only 37 miles. With 270 miles of range nearly, you can drive this thing for a week, week and a half without actually having to charge it. So unlike a traditional gas vehicle where you're going to fill it up on the rear of the vehicle, with the electric vehicle in the Mach-E GT, you're going to fill it up or charge it right here. As we were mentioning, you're going to be able to charge it up to 61 miles in about 10 minutes. And what's great is now that Tesla's opened up their superchargers, you're going to be able to charge this vehicle pretty fast, and they're readily available across the country. Now, here in Middle Tennessee, it's a little bit more problematic, but just in the last 2 or 3 months, I've started seeing charging stations pop up. But the key to this team is really at home. You're going to want to get an aftermarket charging system in your home so that when you buy a vehicle, you can charge it. So imagine every morning leaving your house with a full tank of electricity. And there are many options for tires with this Mustang Mach-E GT. You're going to get the Pirelli P0s. These are their summer tires, and they're riding on custom 20-inch wheels with Brembo brakes. All right, so let's focus on design for a minute with this Mach-E, and specifically the GT version, right? I want you to, this angle really gives you a good idea. If you look at a regular Ford Mustang with a gas engine, you can see very good similarities in the design of the front of the vehicle, even from the headlights that are nice and streamlined, and the way the hood haunches, it kind of rolls up over the side, just like a regular gas-based Mustang. And then as you make your way down, you got larger wheels and tires. What I love is these are the Pirelli P0s, so they're great performing tires, and these are all seasons, so you got great on-road experience. Like the suspension is great, and of course you got Brembo brakes with it as well. As you make your way down the side, there are a couple things I want you to pay attention to. One is just the nice flowing design of the side, and then as you come up with your first window here and you drop down, notice there's no door handle. I think that's super cool. So your door handle is actually right here, and you just push it open. It's just seamlessly hidden into the side of the vehicle. And then as you come down to the second row, boom, you're just hitting a button like that and it just opens. It's like chauffeur style. Check that out right there. Isn't that cool? I think that's awesome design. Now, you have a little bit less viewing capacity in here as a second row passenger and occupant. And then as you make your way down, A pillar, B pillar, C pillar. If you get from the B pillar to the C pillar, notice how it rakes down. That's sticking with a Mustang and a performance-oriented look. We call it an awesome silhouette in the auto industry. The silhouette of this is nice with the rear spoiler on the deck lid here that really gives it a pronounced look. As I come around to the rear of the vehicle, look at how seamlessly these LED lights are integrated into the rear. And I want you to pay attention to this because most vehicles, the lights are on the outside of the rear quarter panel, but they've integrated the lights here and carried it over into this rear deck lid as well. Seamless design on the bottom with the big GT logo right here. You've got your cameras mounted in, and then you got a... All right, so as we make our way into the rear of the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, a lot of room in here, can fit some suitcases if you're heading off to the airport, and of course you can fold the second row seats down as well to give yourself more cargo capacity. Inside the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, it's pretty awesome. And I think the first thing that stands out to me on the inside is just the abundance of technology. There's so much great technology just smacking you kind of in the face, and that's what I love the most. Starting with this 15.5-inch touchscreen on this center console, you can see there's just so much awesome functionality. If you're sitting here in the driver's seat, you just have this big touchscreen that's super close to you, that's easy to push buttons on. And then you've got a 10.2-inch center stack right here. This is your gauge cluster. It's very thin, but it's wide because most of your information is going to come off this 15.5-inch screen over here. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all the features that you can control with your vehicle are done by this head unit right here. And also Ford will be doing over-the-air updates with the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT as well. So any adjustments that are going to be made to the vehicle will be made using over-the-air updates. So you have to have connectivity at home. You'll have 10 Bang & Olufsen speakers on the inside, a very seamless dash on the front of the vehicle, and then of course you got some really cool contoured seats that match up well with the GT, and then a ton of space down here, including USB-C and USB charging, along with wireless induction charging as well. But even with all the super cool technology, look at the size of this moonroof. It's massive on the inside of this. And there's no seams that break it up. It's just one big sheet of glass that runs from the front of the vehicle all the way past the second row to the end of the Mach-E GT. So a couple things as we're driving and getting behind the wheel of the Mustang Mach-E GT. The first thing is I want you to just understand the silence. And I get it, electric vehicles get a lot of crap in the marketplace, especially for the infrastructure. But the serenity, the quietness of the inside is really something that I love. So as I'm moving down road in this thing, it is just so quiet, even with the air on. But if you think about it compared to a gas vehicle where you're shifting through gears, this right here, and I'm gonna punch it, this thing is fast because it's one constant speed. You couldn't even hold the camera right. So to close it out, guys, with the 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, I'll start with just the most simplistic expression to me, in that the car looks cool. right? First look at the car, first glance, it just looks fun. It looks fast, it looks performance, it's just got a cool silhouette to it. The technology sitting at 271 miles on the extended range on a single charge is pretty awesome. Because if you're using it on a daily commute or even on an extended drive, you're going to be able to get the things that you want out of the vehicle. Your starting price is going to be right around $70,000 for this GT version with all the accoutrements on top of it. But if you want to get a regular Ford Mustang Mach-E, it'll be, of course, south of that price. I hope you all enjoyed this quick video for us on the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Leave comments below. Let us know your thoughts, and we'd be happy to respond to you. But most importantly, hit us with that sub, baby. We need your love so that we can keep doing these videos for you guys. All right, thanks for checking out the 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Keep it real. And a special shout out to our friends at Miracle Ford here in Gallatin, Tennessee. When we can't get our hands on media fleet vehicles from Ford Corporate, we always know we can count on our friends at Miracle Ford to give us the keys to some of their vehicles.